The problem we're talking about is that this algorithm is so weaponizable, it's so manipulable because they open sourced it on the platform. So threat actors, bad actors, anybody who wants to manipulate the algorithm either for benefit or for subversion, if they're going to target somebody to subvert them, no longer is it like some employee at Twitter that clicks a button that puts you into shadow ban category. Now it's anybody in the public can go on the black market, can engage with these botnet services, and can effectuate a shadow ban, could basically impose a shadow ban on any person by just repeatedly targeting their account and their content with different techniques, either fake reporting, fake muting, things that put deboosting flags on certain pieces of content. One of the techniques that you just alluded to that I hadn't covered yet, which I'm going to do now, is the engagement, replying of other people on your content. So yes, it is true that if I start engaging with a certain profile of people, let's say I start interacting with a lot of the fake NFT airdrop accounts. Well, if a lot of those fake NFT airdrop accounts are all flagged for being inauthentic, then because my interaction with them is on the increase, it's kind of like a lookalike profile for advertisers. They apply a sort of assumption that, oh, I am like these accounts. And so to some extent, my account now gets like treated like that account. And this is particularly important when it comes to deciding what accounts to show ads, partner ads alongside of. So like if I interact with a lot of white supremacist accounts, well, then I will be disqualified from ad revenue sharing because there's not a lot of advertisers that want ads showing up next to that kind of rhetoric. And this happens whether or not I'm directly posting white supremacist content myself. If every day I go and reply to accounts that do that, I will inherit the bad reflection of their status just because I've interacted with them. Now, what does this do? Because people will go, well, then just don't do that. Just no, you know not to do that. What's the problem? The problem is you can be tricked into doing that, and this is happening to me all the time. If you look at the people who reply me, and I can sense it coming out because I have software, but like the way that they do this is they will choose to slip into your mentions, and because you are so desperate to get interaction and engagement, you will reply to their mention. They'll say, hey man, I love the content you're making, keep it up, and you hit the heart button on one of their tweets. You just hearted a white supremacist account, and you didn't realize that because you don't have the time to go in and investigate every mention you get to see what kind of profile they have. So this is another way that you weaponize this technology and this reality is you take a group of accounts that you know are shadow banned, and then you use those accounts to interact with a target you want to inherit, you want your shadow ban to metastasize to. And then with completely unwittingly, that target will start interacting with their mentions because they think they're people of their community, right? And Trippy and Juzzy and Sonny, you saw this with me, where all of those threat actors, all those hacker motherfuckers were coming in my spaces. This was what they were doing. Anytime I gave them a co-host, I just co-hosted. I had a co-host of my space, a white supremacist or a hacker. So now my spaces get inherit with that. Oh, now, I retweeted somebody. If somebody said, "Hey man, try out web requests," guess who some of the loudest supporters of web requests and the products I made became? They became the worst accounts to have supporting your technology. So if all of the accounts that talk about my technology and my startup are white supremacists, then all of a sudden it looks like I have a white supremacist product, and the algorithm materially reacts to that. So do you start to understand how this can now be weaponized at any level against any person? So now anybody who becomes the target can be censored by any organized, motivated group that wants to do that. And what this means is now the most authentic, most critical thinking of us. I'm going to put myself in that category, not for humble brag purposes, but for argument's sake. I'm one of the ones who figured this out, right? I'm one of the only ones talking about this. So I think I belong in that category. What does that do to us? I understand what's happening to me. And I know exactly how to beat it. But in order to beat it, I have to compromise my ethics and get down in the mud and do the same fucking thing and perpetuate the problem. That's the only way I succeed in this world. So what you're doing is you're creating an environment where the most ethical among you are forced to throw their ethics to the wind and become part of the problem. That's what we're doing, is we're creating a toxic, reductive loop, race to the bottom society. Now apply this mentality to society, and that's what we're doing to society as a result. Go ahead, Nikolai.
And you mentioned so great points, and thank you for